So, I remember the last time I talked about doing a project, I wasn't sure what I'd be able to do, but since I was cleared to work, when I mean cleared, I mean I asked my grandmother because she has all this new stuff in the garage. I wasn't sure if it would be safe to work in here, and she goes, yeah, go ahead, just make sure you clean up your mess. I'm like, fine. So with that being said, I am able to work on new projects, and this one is going to be a birthday present. I said present weird. That was strange. Now, my brother's birthday is coming up, and we both like God of War. A little bit too much. The difference between him and I is I like the Leviathan Axe, and he likes the Blades of Chaos. So how this is going to work out is I'm going to build the final form of the Blades of Chaos from God of War 4, or just God of War. That's when Brock and Sindri have all done all their magic onto it. So I really like that, the mix of Norse blacksmithing and Greek blacksmithing. Put those two together. And that's going to be what I'm going to make for my brother. And I'm going to make the final tier version of the Leviathan Axe. So, yeah! I'm going to start drawing that out. I'm going to try and keep this one relatively short. I'm trying to max myself at 20 minutes. So, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of jump cuts. Not going to be videotaping a lot. Just a bunch of going, do-do-do-do-do, bam, this is what I did, bam, this is how I did it. Here we go. Ha! Both out of pine. I'm proud of myself.
I look like I'm hiding from Corona, but in reality the sanding dust was getting so bad. I don't know if you can see it on my shirt, but yeah, I have asthma. You can see it on my glasses, all the dust, but yeah, I'm not going to spoil what they look like so far. Well, I mean, I'm going to do it eventually, but after about an hour's worth of work, I got the sanding done in Leviathan Axe, and I got one of the Blades of Chaos done. So I did an oopsie. So this is cedar for the axe head, right? Held on the sanding belt sideways instead of like this, and the blade, not the blade, the belt does this, not this. So me holding it this way, snapped it. Scheisse. However, my good friend Gorilla Glue, not sponsored, is gonna see what he can do. But otherwise, I made the handle out of some oak. This thing was really hard to work with. You have no idea. Unless you work with wood, then you know. The cedar was really easy, really malleable because it's a soft wood. This was not. It took me half an hour just to slim it down a little bit. This took me 20 minutes just to get that little tip right there, like completely perfect. It took longer than half an hour to cut it out because apparently the blade that I have is not that strong. So, yay. I got the handle done. I have, ooh, I got dust all over these. I have the Blades of Chaos pretty much done when it comes, oh, nope, that one's not. Majority of the Blades of Chaos are done. I'm going to fix the axe head, and then I'm going to sand the rest of the blade, so, yay! Oh, I also broke his birthday present, because I'm a genius. But, again, hot glue is my wonderful friend. Otherwise, these are turning out pretty good. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make the skulls. So that's another interesting thing. Let's go back to work. So, since I didn't tell my brother about his stuff, but I told my brother about mine, and said I'd show him it tonight. I remade the axe head with another piece of wood and glued it all together. It looks a little small. That's because it's meant for my size, which is not Kratos' size. It's still a pretty big axe head, don't get me wrong. But yeah, the Blades of Chaos, I'm going to work on a lot more tomorrow. I'm going to try and keep him out of the garage as much as possible because this is a birthday present for him. The axe is mine though, obviously, because why not? If I'm going to make something for somebody, let's be a little selfish. I mean, come on, the axe is cool too.
Don't know if you can hear the music, but my brother's here, so it's kind of hard to work on the axe, or not the axe, the blades. So work on the Leviathan Axe the entire time. So yeah, while he's here, I'll work on this, and when he's not, I'll work on the blades. But since he's here, I'm probably gonna finish the making stuff for the axe first. So the axe that I really like the original axe that you get when you first play the game. Like, you get the Leviathan Axe, and it's this old beaten up thing that's still badass. So I'm going to keep the original handle. What I mean original handle is the dragon pommel with the insignia right there, and a little bit more engravings on there, and then the wrap instead of the golden bars and everything. But I also love the final axe's head. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to have the old handle with the final axe head, because I friggin' love it. It's amazing to me. So with that being said, I got some old deer hide. For those who are following me on Instagram, you guys know that I make a lot of my stuff with deer hide because I have like 20 pounds of stuff left over. I'm going to use this for the old wrap. Now, hi Leia, my dog. So since there is like an old kind of cloth thing, I'm going to use the soft side, not the hard side or the treated side. So I'm going to use the nice side. I got the hot glue gun heating up right now. What's going to happen eventually is I'm going to take the axe head off because it's just hot glued on both sides. I needed it temporarily to see how big it was going to be compared to the rest of it before I did the engravings, and it turned out pretty good. So I'm going to take these off and paint them, but I'm going to finish the handle now. So I'm going to glue these on. You know, I think I'll do another time lapse because I did one earlier today. Yeah, I'll do a time lapse of gluing. Here you go. So, since my brother was here, I already mentioned a couple times, I went and finished the Leviathan Axe. And I think it turned out really nice. What I wanted to do is I wanted to have the original handle, that old kind of beaten up badass look the Leviathan Axe had at the beginning of the game. And then I also liked the final version of the axe head when it's all upgraded. So I did a mixture of both. And I think it turned out pretty good. I don't really have to explain majority of the build because you guys saw it kind of step by step, but not all of it. I didn't really take a picture of the handle before I cut it out. But yeah, since the quarantine is starting tonight at midnight and it's currently like 6:10, I went out and got 10 feet of zinc covered, not tungsten, why do I keep wanting to say tungsten? Zinc-alloy chain. So 5 feet for each blade, not bad. Gives my little brother about 3 feet of chain to play with on each blade. Yeah, because not a lot of wrap on the wrist. We'll try and figure out a placement for it. But the way I'm doing it is over the top like this, one back here, and bring it back up twice. And then it comes underneath. So you have kind of a brace, which gives you about that much chain to swing it around. Which may not seem like a lot, but it's good enough for him, good enough for me. So, yeah. I have to figure out how in the hell I'm gonna carve these skulls. onto the blade, or how I'm going to make a plank that looks like it. So this will be interesting. Paint is sealed. I'm a genie hand. Yeah. Okay. Yep, chains work. That's great. So how I'm painting it is, you can see that how I'm painting is, you can see it's just the regular plywood, right? So what I did is I take some black acrylic and I rub it over the high spots, which I didn't sand this one well, so you can see a lot of lines in it. But after I take the black onto it, I put gold onto it, and the black will mix with the gold, and I get that beaten, rugged gold color that I want. Now, I'm sorry I didn't record a lot. Just there was times when my brother would check on what I was doing. Like I don't know if it was caught on camera, but there was a few times where he came in when I was working on the Leviathan Axe, and he was checking in on it. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't record a lot, and I couldn't really warn him that I was recording for the Blades of Chaos. So I didn't really record a lot, and I was trying to keep it on the down low. But yesterday was the first day that he went home. So I was up from like 6 o'clock at night till 3 in the morning finishing all the wood burning, which was all those photos you saw. And then today, March 29th, I was up from, well, I just finished them an hour ago, and as of right now, it's what? It is 7:11. I finished them at 6 o'clock, and I was working on them all day, and I painted them. All the clips you saw up until now was from today. So it took me about 4.5 days just to finish them because I was sneaking around my brother. And yeah, they turned out great. Now, I originally planned on finishing this first. Didn't work out like that, so. Without further ado, I will now reveal the final version of the Blades of Chaos from 2018's God of War. What do you guys think? I'm happy with how they turned out. I know Caleb will be. These are not that heavy. The heaviest thing on here is the chains, and that's about 2 pounds on each side. So yeah, they're not bad. They're fairly light, although the chains are not removable. Sorry. I tried to keep it light woods. I made it all out of pine. So yeah, it turned out nice. I used silver spray paint, which you guys saw. I used black, red, and King's Gold acrylic, which I already gave you little tips on what you could do to make it look like beaten up gold. Try to keep me as accurate to the games as possible. The only inaccuracy that I know was intentional was the pommel right here. I was a little paranoid about how strong the chain would stay, or how well the chain would stay in there. So when I nailed them in, you guys saw that clip. It had maybe about a 1/4 inch cut, so it could swivel around a lot. And I didn't really trust it, so I took 2 blocks of pine and hammered it, and then or nailed it, and then glued it together. Not in that order, but yeah. So, although they're big, the chain is not coming out. Not unless he either rips the chain out or breaks the blocks. So, turned out great. Compared to the Leviathan Axe, I made mine human size. I made this game size. So the blades are huge. The axe is normal sized. Hello. But all that's left to do now is to give it to him. And I have a little fun first before I do, so yeah. Turn around and look at the green couch. You can open your eyes now.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, open your eyes. And no swearing, this is going on Facebook.
It's a towel.
Yeah, move the towel.
No, I was just messing with you, alright. Imagine if I just like threw it off. Yo, no way, you did not. You did not make the Chaos Blades. Ah, let's go.
If you can get the chains undone, yeah.
Bro, that's sick. That's actually sick. Chaos Blades. Oh my god, I love God of War. Even got the runes description. Yes. That is a big gamer moment.
That's the right hand.
Okay, and?
You can see on the pommel.
Well, I didn't see that part.
I don't know how. It's in big bold lettering. So what do you think?
It is a big whip moment.
The chains will stay in place if you swing it. I cannot guarantee the blade will fly flat.
You hot glue it together. Why do you always hot glue things?
It's okay.